I've been going through a lot of energetic stuff like for months now. Like that's just how it's been for me. And so when I show up in retreat, I'm like, oh yeah, more of this. But other people were like, what the hell? So one of the things that Angela was talking about is there's ways to kind of ground and express energy and emotion that can help allow this to flow without so much resistance. And one of those things is, there's grounding, putting your feet on the floor, putting your hands on the floor, really connecting with this big source of energy, which is the earth, and just allowing stuff to kind of ground through. But there's also movement and somatic practices in the body. And one of them is intuitive dance. Now, listen, guys, I don't dance really, except as a joke. I don't. I'm always aware of how idiotic I look. This idea of like a constant sense of validation seeking and being hyper aware of myself in social settings, just don't really dance in that way unless it's like over the top, like ridiculous, right? So being in touch with the body and its natural desire to move in response to music has not been something that I've been very comfortable with, and so of course, when you're not comfortable with something, like there comes a point in this whole realization journey where it's like, well, then I got to go right there. Like you don't have a choice anymore. It's like, I just have to do this. So Angela was mentioning intuitive dance, and intuitive dance is really very quite simple. It's you listen to music and you allow your body to move as it's going to move, and you open as much as you can. If emotions are arising, you intuit where the emotion is and you allow it, and you allow the energetics of the body, and you allow the movement as the body wants, and you forget about what it looks like. You're doing it usually alone in a room where you're safe and so on. And so Ashley Stewart decides she's going to try this, and she does it and had this profound emotional experience, posted on Locals along with this link. She's like, this is the first thing I found when I searched intuitive dance on YouTube. And so I was like, okay. So I look at it, and it's an Israeli woman, and she's clearly intuitive and clearly very expressive. And you can kind of feel energetically in people now when they're bullshitting or not, when they're just a new age spiritual bullshit with an ego that's projecting it, or whether it's, no, they're quite in touch with this. And she felt quite in touch with this. So I watched the video. I just put it in the comments, and I put in AirPods, and this was just now, just like prior to going live. I put in my AirPods. I stood right over there. I had the video playing. I didn't really watch much. I watched her moving a little, and she just kind of talks you through, okay, now just allow this and allow this, and now what emotion's calling to be released and what's happening, and just move like you intuitively want to move and so on. Holy fucking shit. I've never experienced anything like that. It was like indescribable. Like, oh my God, what is the body even doing? Eyes are closed, room is dark, you're hearing the music. And the music is, some like standard kind of Middle Eastern kind of beat and this. There's nothing special about the music. It was the touching in deeply into the body and allowing it to do what it does, and then allowing any emotion to arise. And because she set the suggestion that emotion is welcome, emotion came. And it was like, what is even, there's like vocalization, you're like screaming and growling and crying, and all this stuff is happening. This was like 10 minutes ago. And the video is like 16 minutes. And the amount of emotion, and it wasn't emotion with any, I couldn't describe what it was. It was just emotional energy. And then the body moving, allowing it. And then at some point she's like, okay, lay down on the ground. Like just ground yourself now. You've let all this out. Now invite yourself back in deep and let it just settle and ground itself out. Oh my fucking God. It was so awesome. Like if this is something that you feel called to do or safe to do, because it's a lot. Like if you have a lot of trauma and stuff, it might be too much at first. You might want to work with some of that in a way that Simon Brown points in our first interview we did in our podcast about trauma. But if you're on this journey and you know about energetics and stuff, or you're just curious about this, give it a shot. And you'll see your degree of openness will correlate directly to the experience you might have. And so even now, the way I feel now in the body is just open, energetic flow. There's a lot of openness and a lot of release. And I'll tell you too, as doctors, we're not taught about this shit. And we're certainly taught to repress as much as possible, not feel these things. Man, when it's allowed to come up, it comes out like primal. And that's what's waiting to be felt, because the awakening journey is, you wake up to the nature of reality, great. But then you go back for everything that you weren't feeling in this manifestation, in this life. Everything that you wouldn't feel, that you couldn't feel, that you felt you couldn't bear as a separate self, now not only can be born, it must be. Like, you got to go back. So go back with these modalities and allow it. And that generates an openness to the next kind of insight and the next thing. And it opens the heart to this sense of deep connectedness and compassion too.